Hi there, this is going to be the video for the bolt disassembly for the 1903 and the 1903 A3 Springfield rifle. I'm going to do a separate video for the field strip, but this is going to be the bolt detailed strip, just the bolt. So the first thing you need to do is, of course, make sure that it's unloaded, of course, and in the process you're going to cock the cocking piece. It's empty, of course. Okay, so now the cocking piece is cocked. This lever, the safety lever or the lock, needs to be in the middle position. That's very important. Don't try to do it the other way. It's possible once you have it out of the rifle, if it's on fire, to get it back into the middle position, but it's a real pain. So if you remove the bolt with the lock in the fire position, just put it back in your rifle, lower the bolt handle and move the lever to the the middle position between ready and safe. So it needs to be in this position up, so it's up. Okay, then you move the magazine cutoff lever to the middle position so that you can remove the bolt. And the bolt just comes out the back of the receiver like that. Alright, so the next thing you need to do is press this bolt sleeve lock, I think it's called, right here. It's spring loaded, and that allows you to rotate the cocking piece and the bolt sleeve counterclockwise. Just unscrew it the normal way out of the bolt body. Okay, and then put the bolt body aside. Remind me to remove show you how to remove the extractor. I'm sure you'll remind me. Okay, so now the next part, in order to get the firing pin, or this is actually called the striker, but it's basically the firing pin, off of this firing pin. This is the striker, and the firing pin is called the thing that holds the striker is called the firing pin. So in order to do that, this spring has to be compressed, and it's already back because the cocking piece is cocked. And so in order to relieve the pressure on the spring, you need to move this safety lever or the lock into the ready position. In order to do that, you need to take the pressure off of it by pushing down on put the firing pin, the striker, on a padded surface or a piece of wood. Push down, and then we're going to move the safety lever to the ready position. Slowly let it compress, or decompress rather, and that allows you're basically decocking the firing pin so that you can compress the spring, the mainspring. So now you need to push down on the mainspring, and you're going to remove the striker, and it moves sideways off of the firing pin once this firing pin sleeve is out of the way. So you're going to pull down on the spring and the firing pin sleeve. Don't let go. And then you can see that the striker just slides off the side. It just slips off like that. Then slowly let it decompress. Okay, so that takes the pressure off the mainspring. This is the firing pin sleeve, and this is the mainspring. This is the firing pin, and it just slides out of the bolt sleeve. So the firing pin is this piece right here, and that is just one single piece. And then what you have remaining is the bolt sleeve and the lock, or the safety lever. And I'm not sure if I want to do this again because it's kind of a pain, at least on mine. Maybe I will, just for fun. Okay, so in order to get this off, I'm not sure if you can see this detailed or not. Let me see if I can show you. There is a little detent ball that rests right there. You can see that in this. And it rides in this little detent groove, and that's what holds the locking piece in the ready, the middle, and the safe positions. There are solid detent positions in the You can't see that. There's a deeper detent position on safe, and there's a deeper one on ready, but in the middle there's kind of there's a minor little groove, which you may or may not be able to see right here. And there actually is a little ramp on the back of that. The metal is a little bit ramped, and that's designed so that you can push the detent off the back if you need to remove the safety lever. So the way you do that is you move the safety lever into the middle position again, and then with a hammer and a wooden punch you're going to drive this off of the back of this bolt sleeve. The way I found it to do it easier on mine's really strong, the detent spring, so I wasn't actually, if I whacked on this it kind of made too much leverage. So you can actually see the front of the spindle for the for the safety lever or the lock right here. So I'm going to use a brass punch that is smaller than that and give it a good whack. Hold it centered and use something suitable to give it a good whack or two. Okay, there it goes. Yours may not be that difficult to remove, but my spring is very stiff. So that's the lock or the safety lever, and I don't think that it's possible to remove the detent and the spring unless you're smarter than I am, but I don't know how you would. There's no pin or anything, so I think that might just be if it breaks it'll come out and then you just put a new one in, and it's kind of like a lifetime part. If you know different, give me a comment and let us know how to do that, but I don't think you'd ever need to replace that. Okay, so this is the bolt sleeve, and if you need to drive this plunger, this is the bolt lock. I don't know what it's called. Bolt sleeve lock or something, and that's spring loaded. There's a pin that you can drive out and then remove that, and it's spring if you need to, if it's broken or whatever, but mine's fine. I'm going to leave it alone. So, oh, sorry, I forgot to remove the extractor. Okay, so the extractor is here. This is the extractor piece. There's an extractor ring or bolt ring or whatever you want to call it. If you look at it, you can basically see how this needs to come apart. You need to rotate the extractor down past where it normally would go. If the bolt's in the rifle, this is how far it would go. You need to rotate it further down like this. And there's a little notch in the extractor that rides in this groove on the front of the bolt. So you're basically going to rotate that notch out of its little groove. You need to push kind of hard. It will ride up onto the side of the bolt, the bottom of the bolt actually. So now that groove is out of its, sorry, the little notch is out of its groove, and that allows the extractor to be pushed forward. And you might need to use a little drift something if yours is kind of stiff, because also the back of the extractor rides in this little shallow groove here, so there's a little kind of a tab that rides in that, so you got to push that hard enough that it will ride up out of its channel. And I think, if I remember correctly, mine requires a little bit of assistance. So let me see if I can give it a good tap, and that will move it forward out of its groove. There it goes. I don't know if you can see that or not, but so now you can just push the extractor forward out of its little. This is what holds the extractor on the bolt, is this ring right here. It doesn't want to go. Mine is kind of stiff. Alright, so my extractor doesn't want to move forward all the way without some more help, so I'm going to get another whack with the drift, the nylon drift. There it goes. So that's the little channel that rides on this bolt ring or extractor ring. These need to be compressed a little bit, and it's kind of a pain to get back on, at least on mine. So